Cartoons, the animated frontier. These are the voyages of the Cellcast podcast. Its continuing mission to explore strange new cartoons, to seek out new animation styles and new creative storytelling methods, to boldly go where so few ever go again. Welcome to another episode of The Cellcast
Reaction.
Joining me today is a man who might just be a lunatic, Jacob.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Wait, there's a cow. Oh my gosh, we're gonna die. How are you? Why, thank you.
Cut. No, I'm leaving this in. This is funny.
All right, why, thank you. I'd like to introduce our co-host, a man who just needed a wish granted. Welcome, Drew.
How are you doing, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing pretty good.
So, it's been a bit since we've done a reactions episode. The last one was Scoob.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, we've actually reviewed that movie.
Yes, we have.
In full. So, it's been 4 or 5 months. There it goes. Since we've done something like this. And this, the decision for this movie was your idea, considering I know absolutely nothing about it.
Okay,
so,
that's good.
Enlighten us, if you would.
All right, so Over the Moon, it's on Netflix. It is by Pearl Studios, which is helmed by the amazing Glenn Keane from Disney fame. If you don't know who Glenn Keane is, go look him up. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. A lot of the 90s Renaissance movies, he was the head visual designer. And I believe he directed this one, Over the Moon. So Over the Moon is about a young girl whose mother had recently passed away. And so her mother would tell her stories about the moon goddess and how your wishes could be granted if you got a invitation or was able to talk with the moon goddess, your wish would be granted. And so our heroine, our protagonist, makes it her mission that she wants to go to the moon. She wants to go to outer space. And so beyond that, you'll just have to watch the rest of the movie because it does go into a little more further detail. With that said, I am really excited about this film. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's done by Pearl Studios and Glenn Keane is amazing. Visually, it looks amazing. I've seen the trailers. I've watched trailers. I've kept up pretty close with this film. And I wanted to watch it for a reaction. And Drew, having no idea what this movie's about.
All I know is what you just told me.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, I have not followed this one at all. So
yeah. We had posted it on our Facebook page. Just the trailers coming up and information about the film. It released October 23rd, which was last night, being Friday, and we're reviewing it today on Saturday, the 24th.
Right.
So, if you guys are interested, you can go to Netflix, go check it out, and we'll be back shortly to give our full reaction to this film.
Alrighty.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not actually even crying.
Wow. Man, that was a good film. Such a very good, emotional, hard-hitting film that just, it brings those ideas that, not to go into any spoilers because we're just doing a reaction to this.
Well, normally what we do is we do a spoiler-free kind of reaction and then do a full spoiler reaction.
Yeah, that's true. Never mind. All right, let's do that.
Spoiler-free reaction. Go ahead.
All right. My spoiler-free reaction to this film is it's breathtaking. It's animation-wise, beautifully well done. It's got an amazing story. That I think everybody should go watch because it's such a good, sad but heartwarming story that has so much of it's so wrapped up in the idea of the moon goddess and the jade rabbit of
Folklore,
folklore.
mythology.
Yeah, mythology. And it's done excellent, very well executed, and it's just so good. And I enjoyed it. There were moments where it'd be like, it was like I wanted to cry, and I'm one of those guys, like, a very emotional kind of guy. So I was at points I was like, oh. You felt the emotional range in this was very good. Be like it's just like it tore you here and there, and but overall, just an amazing film, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. You?
I would say this is more of a melancholy film.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing that's really, I would say, joyous about it, almost until like the very end, and even there's some pain.
Oh
But I mean, it never fully goes into the, stab you in the heart and leave you for dead.
Yeah.
Sort of stuff. There is a lot of fun aspects in the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, not to get into too much, but once they get to the moon is where they really start going a little wild with the animation.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that point, the animation is just beautiful.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. I will say this is probably the first animation I've seen in HDR.
Mm.
So I very much appreciate the HDR in this.
Good.
It was very. The movie was just beautiful.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't know much about the mythology that it's based on, but it was anyway. It's a beautifully made film, and I don't know if it's. I don't know. And you do have to be a little bit more mature, I think, for this film. So maybe the little kids who get bored easy, maybe not on this one, because I mean there is some stuff, but that can take the attention for a while. But I mean there are long portions of this film that are very into exploring the emotions that the characters are going through,
Mm-hmm.
and some of that might be a little. There might be some kids who just aren't mature enough for it yet.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way I know how to put it.
I gotcha.
So yeah, that's my spoiler-free reaction. It was a good movie, and if you have any interest in animation, definitely go watch it.
Yeah. It is. It's definitely worth a watch. And yeah, it's currently available on Netflix. It's the number 3 film in the United States
As of this recording.
As of this recording. So maybe it'll go up to 1. And I'm just, wow. Again, wow.
All right, let's get into the spoiler-filled section then.
All right.
Ray. Wrong? Okay. This progress is a part of Christian Reek Central Network. Wrong. Hey, Scoop, what are you doing, man? I don't know. I'm supposed to be reading an ad. All right, hold on. Give me it. Okay.
All right. This podcast is part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com.
The following is a spoiler-filled reaction for the movie Over the Moon. Listener discretion is advised.
Can anybody say Super Bunny?
I was wondering how often that... I mean, I'm sitting there going, okay, so you messed... My first thought when the bunny got into the
Jade Rabbit.
whatever the Jade Rabbit's chemical potion stuff,
Yes.
potion making stuff was, I thought, okay, either A, you're not going back,
Yeah.
or B, this is going to turn into the sequel will be a magical girl anime.
Oh,
And it still could be, I guess. But anyway,
It could
I
be.
mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of this that I have to look at and wonder at how much of this actually happened within the context of the story, and how much of it was maybe a dream
yeah.
or something like that, because there's a lot of stuff in here that's the movie is so realistic in the beginning that once they build the rocket ship,
Yeah.
I'm going, now what? And of course they get to the moon and they can breathe because the lions breathed on them.
Yeah.
Except the frog was doing just fine there for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that looked more like he was play acting.
That's
than
what I
actually suffocating.
Right.
Plus, I believe even in the thin atmosphere of the moon, you would not your body would puff up more than that due to the higher pressure of air in your body than outside
Right.
your body. But that wouldn't be good for a kid's film.
No, it wouldn't.
There is some. Admittedly, once they're in space, definitely realism has gone out the door.
Yeah. It's literally flown to the moon.
Yeah. I still half expected for them to at least go by where the Apollo 11 stuff was, but Moon Rover's good enough.
Yeah.
And Space Dog chewing on the Hubble Space Telescope.
Yes,
there
that
for a
was
bit.
hysterical.
I mean, okay, when this movie starts, you do have this idea that what you're going to see is a mixture of science and fantasy.
Yeah.
In the
Agreed.
same, because they start going into this whole explanation of space that's scientifically accurate, as far as I know. And then she says, "But the one thing science won't tell us about is the space dog." I'm going, well, that's true. What are you saying about the space dog? I didn't even know there was a space dog. Did you know about the space dog?
No, I never.
Admittedly, like I said, I know nothing about the mythology that this movie is based on.
Right.
I'm assuming this is Chinese.
Yeah, Chinese.
Because I'm assuming all the characters are Chinese, even though my first thought when I looked at a lot of this was Japanese, but then I'm predisposed to Japan when it comes to Asia anyway.
Right.
But I mean, the movie, like, there's. Okay, I'm just going to get to the part that I thought was the most had the best animation.
Okay.
The J-pop scene,
along
with the ping pong game.
Yes.
Those two scenes are I think where they really put in a lot of the energy. Admittedly, there was one point where I was sitting back there and I got to realizing the lights are flashing, and I thought, I wonder how Jacob's epilepsy's doing.
I'm fine.
But I mean, the animation and all that was great. I do want to get to the story because let's face it, the Moon Goddess and Fei Fei are at the same points.
Yeah.
They both have an annoying family member that they maybe don't want as a family member.
Right.
And they both have a rabbit.
That is true.
And they both are feeling incredible loss.
True.
So this story is really about Fei Fei realizing that yes, it is when you lose somebody, especially someone as close to you as your mother.
Right.
It is very painful, and a respectful time of mourning is allowed.
Yeah.
But at some point, you do have to continue on.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you don't still mourn for that person as time goes on, but you do have to move on.
Yeah.
That's something I think all of us have a hard time doing.
Agreed.
Anytime we've ever lost somebody.
Agreed.
And that's really what this story is about. And it's that makes me think maybe the younger kids, while they could probably sit through and enjoy most of the movie,
Yeah.
there's some of that's just going to confuse them, I would think. Older kids, like say 10 to 12 maybe, would be fine, but younger than that, I'm not sure.
You'd be surprised what little kids can understand.
I know. It's just I don't know how much I mean, every kid's different, of course.
Right.
Your mileage will definitely vary.
Yeah.
But just be advised that there's a lot of this stuff that if you've got, an energetic 10-year-old, much like Chin,
Yeah.
they may try to run through the wall while Chin's running through the wall.
No barriers.
Yeah, that right there is going to be the episode title for this, by the way. The character designs for the people on the moon that are obviously not from Earth.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, the people on the moon besides the goddess and the Jade Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Those designs I thought were very cool.
They were. I agree.
Because they do look like they are producing light, which animation doesn't always get right for whatever reason. And I'm not sure what that is. I think that it's just a difference in how the colors are do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Inside Out did it a couple years
ago.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was interesting here. And I remember looking at it and thinking, how long are you going to be able to keep that up where they actually still look like they're alive? And they actually were able to keep it up the whole way. Now, the fact that it seemed like every single one of the creatures had women's eyes was a little weird. But I mean, that's just a weird thing I noticed.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my stuff out of the way so that you can go gush on this movie here in a couple minutes, as I know you're chomping at the bit to do so. And then the rocket ship scene, and I kind of knew it was going to be a rabbit-shaped rocket when they showed when at the very beginning, she kept calling that balloon her rabbit rocket thing. And then I'm still more amazed she was able to make a maglev train.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's where the fantasy portion of this movie started.
I would...
Especially since that didn't apparently make the news.
No.
That a rocket sled on a mini maglev thing that no one remembers seeing being built outran the bullet train.
And was maxing out at 104 miles an hour.
Yes, I'm assuming that is actually part of the
704.
fantasy. And of course, I'm sitting there going the whole time, where's Chen?
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't show Chen get out there, but he saw your drawing. He saw you leave. I know he's around. Where's Chen?
Where's Chen in his frog?
Where's Chen? I know he's here. How did you get him to hide this much? Now, I will say the funniest part of that is when she hits go, and it actually moves backwards.
That was great.
Forwards, and then it slowly moves forwards like magnets do. I mean,
yeah.
That's the thing about that maglev train. My understanding on how those work is they have to have something to actually accelerate them at the beginning, and then they can keep up that speed.
Exactly.
But I mean that scene I thought was amazing too, and of course them nearly crashing.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. I kind of guessed that the item, the gift, was not the doll from the very beginning, because I got to thinking, why would a doll that looks like her bring back her boyfriend?
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, it's got to be the thing her maybe new stepmother gave her. It's got to be in that moon pie.
Yeah.
Amazing that she thought to pack that, since last time we saw it, she threw it in a drawer and said, I don't need none of this garbage.
Yeah. Then what? Yeah.
And yet she put it in her backpack.
Yeah. That's odd.
Weird, but you know what? I'll let it go.
Yeah.
And I assume that was hers. In fact, we don't know where that one comes from, because it doesn't look like... I couldn't tell what moon pie it was. It could be one that she made and used for her own...
No, it was the same moon pie that her soon-to-be mother-in-law or stepmother gave her earlier.
Well, I know that's what it was implied.
Mm-hmm.
But and for all intents and purposes, it is. But
yeah.
There's a part of me that's wondering. I wonder if that was one she made herself, because we know she knows how to make her own moon pies.
Yeah. But at the same time, you look at the fact that the soon-to-be stepmother had said, according to lore, I'm related to him.
Related to who?
Related to the goddess's long lost love. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry.
I missed that line.
Yeah. And so that makes perfect sense why she would have the second half of the Jade.
Okay, that actually makes a lot more sense because I remember thinking, why is the Jade in there? I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of assumed that it was there because we were in the fantasy portion and we needed some place to hide it, and the best place to hide it is in the thing her stepmother gave her that she's
Yeah.
not, and from the person she doesn't like, that would make
Yeah.
sense for the gift.
Right.
But that's just. And still, it does make you wonder why the stepmom would bake the half of the talisman into a moon pie.
Right.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it could be more of be like, I made this special for you, so it'd be more.
I know you're going to go to the moon tonight.
Or it's just more along the lines of be like, I want to give you something special, and I'm gonna bake it into it and make it even more special. To where you find it, it's more. This is more.
She bit onto it because she didn't know it was in there.
I know this, but I think it's more the
jade is, my understanding, a very hard mineral.
Yeah, it is.
Like, break your teeth hard.
Yeah.
It just seems weird.
It's weird, but I can see the almost the reason why she needs the symbolism. Yeah, the symbolism's
I
there.
Understand.
Right.
It's the logistics I'm questioning.
Right.
And I'm willing to let it go for the symbolism. That just seems like a weird thing for her to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of assume it's there because we're in the fantasy portion and the cake was made with love for maybe her soon-to-be stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And when they got to the moon, that's why the other half of the locket manifested there.
Yeah.
That's my assumption.
Yeah.
If she actually put the locket in there herself, I'm going A, why, B, why, and C, why? That's a health hazard.
Yeah, true.
What if you got
that's dental.
What if you got it mixed up and it went out to a customer? You would be sued.
Very true. Very true. But for the all intents and purposes of our story,
I know. That's why I'm thinking it showed up after they were on the moon. That's when it manifested.
Right. Oh man, just like you said, the animation in this movie is just absolutely gorgeous. The fact to be like Glenn Keane was director and producer and probably designed most of everything in this movie, which is not surprising. Glenn Keane is just a fantastic artist. I could gloat for like another hour, but I'm not going to. There again, like you said, the fact to be like it's so fantasy, like so fantastic in its storytelling. There again, I'm with Drew. The fact to be like I don't know everything about the mythology going behind this. I know about the Jade Rabbit. I understand
making rice cakes on the moon.
Yeah, making rice cakes on the moon.
Which is why Sailor Moon's Japanese name is Usagi Tsukino, which is literally rabbit on the moon.
Yeah. And I remember when we got to...
I'm sorry, I'm a bit of a nerd.
Yeah. And when we got to the Moon Palace, I remember hearing you say something like, it looks like something out of Super Mario.
No, literally, I got Super Mario Galaxy vibes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I remember thinking, it's because I'm looking at it and going, did they design Super Mario Galaxy after the myth? And then all these little planetoids are the part of the myth. That's why they're small enough that you can easily run around them all. Was that it? Well, anyway. And plus, from a distance, it looked like the Comet Observatory from the game. So
right.
The Moon Palace did.
Right.
Which is good considering that Princess Rosalina in the movie kind of has the same. Is a very similar character in design.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
it has a very sad backstory.
Yes. This movie does have a lot of, like you just said, it's got a lot of, this movie itself has a lot of, very sad moments. Feel like it's not a very it's got an uplifting message, but most of the movie is very sad and like You get a lot of the like you said earlier, more of the emotion and trying to
Yeah.
you're gauging how the character is, and like she is so torn up about the loss of her mother, and she's so lost in that she can't see the fact be like she has all these the people that love her now that she's almost blind to it. And I think it's the almost the moral of the story, the fact that you need be like, it's like you said earlier, the fact be like there is time of grievance, there is time of mourning for the one you lost, but don't forget those that still love you. And don't get lost in your sadness, like at the point where the moon goddess goes into her deep depression, and so it's
Her,
the
chamber of sadness.
chamber of sadness.
I almost sound like they said chamber of infinite sadness.
Yes, it was infinite
thinking-
sadness.
So you mean depression?
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost an allegory.
If you go in there, you may never come
Mac. Yeah, exactly.
You may never come back. Sorry, I'm now quoting All Dogs.
Yes, you are. But yeah, it's like that's a good allegory. It's got a good allegory of depression and loss, and the fact that you can get lost in that, and you find yourself in your own world, and you forget about everything else around you. And this was like it's a good reminder to be like, hey, you have more love out there.
Yeah.
To be like those people that be like her father, her soon to be little brother.
Her soon-to-be stepmother.
Exactly. But all those people love her, and she's so absorbed in the loss of her mother and her ultimate desire to bring her back,
and the fact that she can't understand why her father seems to be
exactly
forgetting that he was married. That is obviously not true. It's just like he said earlier in the movie, he's lonely, and he needs someone to spend to be with.
Yeah, and also her perspective, like, well, you've got me.
Right, but he won't have her, and she's still a preteen at this point. Very soon she's going to be a teenager and is not going to want much to do with him in the first place.
Right.
As most teenagers are. Maybe that's just an American thing. I don't know.
But either way, like the story it's got this great allegory of depression and learning to live again and learning to love more. Love again.
And one of the other problem I'm fairly certain she's worried about is that he's replacing her mother with this woman.
Yeah, that's when
it's very painfully obvious, especially at the end.
Oh yeah,
that she's not replacing.
No, she's not.
That hole is still there.
Yeah,
because when she laughs and does that little snort, he says, and almost with a choke in his throat.
Oh yeah, you sound like
you laugh just like your mother.
Yeah. That be like there are points throughout there again. I'm a very emotional guy. I cry pretty easy. I was at points during this movie. I was like, okay, hold it together, man. Be like, it's a good movie. You don't need to cry about it. It's all good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. But man, it's such a good movie. Such a good. Be like Glenn Keane killed it with this thing. Be like writers, animation again is superb in this movie. Definitely when you get to the moon, be like everything is bright and colorful, like saturates up to 1 million, and
HDR really stood out there.
Yeah, exactly. HDR just was like, pop. Can we talk about what is it, Gabi, for a second? Gabi or Gabby?
All I know is he was voiced by Ken Jeong of Community fame.
Yeah, man,
Their otter thing.
Yeah.
Who was very annoying.
Yeah, he was very annoying. Like
much more annoying than her little brother.
But for some reason, I just really enjoyed his character, even though he was annoying. But he was that little guide to her. It's like like he was annoying, but he was the kind of like a little guide to her in a way. And then you have her little brother, little soon-to-be little brother.
I mean, he's very much like Olaf. In Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Except, unlike Olaf, he has a point.
He does have a point. Agreed.
Olaf, for a good portion of that movie, is just there to become comedic relief.
That is true. Until you get into Frozen 2, and but
that's Frozen 2. I'm referring to Frozen 1,
yes.
where he's mostly comedic relief.
Yeah.
Because he was essentially the funny animal creature.
Yeah, exactly, and point out everything obvious. But there again, wow, this was an amazing film, and I think wrapping it up with this reaction review to this film, definitely go watch it. It's an amazing. Oh my gosh, right now it's at number 3 on Netflix. I'm hoping that it gets goes higher and maybe gets to number 1 because it's just an amazing story, amazing animation, amazing just everything about this film. I whenever it comes out on Blu-ray and DVD, I'm buying it.
Okay.
Anything else, Drew?
I think that's going to be it.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.
Come, Jacob. We must prepare for next week.
Prepare for what, Drew?
The same thing we do every week, Jacob. Record a podcast.
Oh, boy.
So where can they find you, Jacob?
They can find me on Facebook at Jacob B. Heron and Jacob's Daily Art Corner, my personal art Facebook page. On Twitter at Jacob B. Heron. On Instagram at Jacob B. Heron. And on Letterboxd at Jacob Heron. Where can they find you, Drew?
You can find me on Facebook at Drew Dodgen. You can also find my Facebook page at Drew's Photo Bin, where I upload my photography. You can also follow me on Letterboxd at GGeorge759 and Twitter at GGeorge759. Where can they find us, Jacob?
You can also visit our website, thecellcast.podbean.com, where you will find every episode we released and links to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our RSS feed, if we aren't in your favorite podcast app directory, please share, review, and subscribe to us there and share us with your friends.
You will also find a link to our Facebook group, the Double Feature Podcast Community, where we talk about both animated and live-action movies. We share this with our other podcasts, which we do with Jacob's brother Jim, at the Movie of the Week podcast, where we talk about live-action movies. You can also email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Also, please like our page on Facebook. We try to post about upcoming movies. If you comment on that movie's post before we record, we'll read your comments in the episode. And remember, every time we say The Cellcast, that is with a single L.